6 are related, right? Like your code 6, you call it code 4 after, but the 5 in between is a little odd. I mean, I just think people making the call ultimately should be clarifying. And I know it's hard, but like maybe we just work on a term, and maybe it doesn't have to be like code related. And I also think assigning it a 10 code that would repurpose a current unused 10 code would also be problematic because people don't listen to them. And it would be easy to mishear something if I'm opening fire on someone, or if I'm actively being rammed coincidentally while someone says, treat this as whatever. Like, it'd be very easy to mishear the 10 code making that call. I'm conflicted because I'm of simultaneous agreement that it does need improvement and that we shouldn't take up too much radio comms clarifying it, but also clarifying it as long as we come up with like a predefined way to communicate it in short. Like in a short way. It does sound like a 10 code, but does the confusion come, like, do we end up making it more confusing to individuals who are going to be taught a new repurposed 10 code?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to steer away from repurposing a 10 code, because I don't think that's going to help. That's why I came to code 5, because I understand that code 4 and code 6 are kind of in the same vein. So you're slipping one in the middle. I don't see that as being a problem. I think it's smart.
I'm not opposed to it. I'll say that. I think it's better than nothing, though. I would probably argue for us to just figure out a clear and concise way to communicate. We're clear to open fire on the vehicle or the drive. Like, to be clear, we're opening fire on the individual in the vehicle. If the vehicle, which is the weapon, gets disabled first, we stop shooting.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's like
straight up.
If somebody has opened fire on an officer,
then
we return fire.
Yeah,
we return fire on the person. We don't open fire on the gun. Right?
Correct.
So it's the same concept. We open fire on the person and or the weapon.
Yeah.
Just because the weapon in this case is a vehicle which is much bigger. But as soon as they exit the vehicle, it's like them dropping a gun and dipping.
Well, I mean, I'd even argue it's a little different. You can conceal weapons. You can't really conceal a vehicle, right? Like, if someone shot someone already and they continuously flee, like, the communication is going to be, you are to stop, put your hands up and surrender. You're going to get shot. I don't care that you don't have a weapon out right now. 100%. And again, the amount of times people will turn a corner, pull out another weapon, even if it's something like knuckle dusters. Knuckle dusters are fucking rough. You know, people can sit there and argue, well, the gun's the weapon, so if they put... Okay, well, then ultimately, if they don't want to get shot, they've been communicated the instructions to not get shot, which is stop, put your hands up, surrender. As easy as that.
Yeah, so I did kind of consider also just not suggesting assigning anything to it, and just... The issue with that is, in what we're now trying to do is we have to try and train people to just be clear, concise over the radio in a very tense situation. Lots of people are talking. It's going to get interrupted by priority comms, and trying to retrain people, especially when they've been taught a certain way, very, very difficult. It's going against the grain. And I'm not opposed to trying to teach people. Obviously, we should always be doing that, but I figured, hey, we've got this unused thing.
Well, I think the benefit, or the thing that we have going in our favor, is that the people who are typically making these calls are seniors and above.
True.
It's very rare in my experience for someone of a lower rank to make those calls. And it probably just stems from not wanting to make a controversial call, or there's a lot to consider, especially in shift 3. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. You know, people be getting kangaroo kicked left, right, and center. And it's not intentional. But you need to use those context clues to determine that, right? Like, If I
Yeah,
see
I think
someone who, let's say, rams Davenport's vehicle and Davenport goes fucking flying, and I saw that nothing happened to the car that hit him, like, I'm gonna sit there and be like, all right, we're not gonna open fire. Like,
yeah,
it's a little different. You have to consider those things. But at the end of the day, they're all judgment calls. Would I judge someone for being more lenient in those situations? Absolutely not. Um, because again, it's all judgment calls at the end of the day. Sometimes they could be good ones, sometimes they can be bad. It is what it is. But again, I think the benefit we have is it's typically seniors, and I'm just trying to figure out the most clear and concise way to communicate it. You're clear to open fire on the driver of a pink vodka. However, if the vehicle goes out and they put their hands up, but they don't have any weapons, stop opening fire. The vehicle's a weapon, like.
yeah.
But
I
even
think
that's too long.
yeah, like if it's it's fine to do that if it's not such a
Super
crazy
hectic.
situation.
Yeah.
But when like we had a situation day before yesterday, it was a bestie's bank truck, I think, and it started to get real crazy. And it was in that that moment where you can feel like electricity in the air. They're about to start blasting.
Uh-huh.
They're right on the verge.
Yep.
We have three different pursuits happening because they've broken off into different, like they've split.
Yep. Makes sense.
So like I'm chasing someone in the tunnels who rammed somebody with their car. So we're clear to open fire on them. Forehead is leading people away in another direction. So we've got three different pursuits all on channel one. We've got a foot pursuit going on that's taking up priority comms. We're still asking what's happening back on the original scene because we've got a 95, but people have tried to break them out. So people are beating them down. And it's like every time I speak on radio, I have 2 seconds, if that, before another
Before
priority call
interrupted.
comes through.
Yeah. It's rough. It is rough.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe code is. I just don't know that it should be 5 because it's unused. Because I think it's a little awkward.
Is it awkward because it's between 4 and 6?
Yeah. Specifically because of that. In fact, I mean,
Right.
if you really think about it, because we skip from 4 to 6. I mean, is it really? It's probably not even that big of a deal.
I don't think it's a big deal at all, personally.
Let me reference this. I mean, could we just throw it to like? The thing is, for me, I think it would be easier to justify something like, uh, code like. I'm not saying this is what it should be. I think it's easier to justify something like Code 9 because I don't think there can be any confusion
Okay.
between that.
Yeah.
And because if someone
like
says
that.
5, like, let's not pretend that people don't accidentally say the wrong number when calling
Yeah.
code, right? So like, I think there's less confusion in the event where someone would say code 9, because if someone is trying to say 4 but they instead for whatever reason have a brain fart and say 5,
True.
or
yeah, this vehicle's
6
code
to
4.
5,
Oops,
correct.
I meant code 5. And
Yeah.
no one heard, oops, I meant. Yeah, okay.
But I
see
think
what
the
you're saying.
moment that someone hears something that they've never heard because it's never been assigned a code, I think that would be a lot
Code 9
easier.
goes hard. I like that.
I would agree. I would agree with that, because then I think the element of confusion, and for me it's not about consistency, because you're right, like how the code system works isn't consistent. They like 1 to 3 is sort of one category, but then there's like 4 and 6, and they're not even sequential, but they do relate to situations.
Okay. I like that.
I'd be on board for Code 9.
Yeah.
100%.
Code 9? Okay, cool. I don't know who to take it to next.
On that note, I need to call the judge. Callista is around.
Oh yeah.
I want Callista's perspective on this.
On the Code 9 thing?
No, the
the criminal
yes,
code thing.
the charge.
Do you think she'll give me a free number plate change?
Probably not. I don't know that anyone's getting free ones.
Dang it. Okay. Let me know what she says. I'm curious.
I will. Hopefully this goes well. Doo, doo, doo.
Hello.
Hey, Callista, it's Rhodes. How you doing?
Hey, Rhodes, what's up?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Number one, congratulations on your position. I
Thank
haven't
you.
seen you in quite some time. Two, I actually have a legal question because I don't know if this is some kind of oversight, or if something got reverted. But do you have
Okay.
your MDT with you?
I do.
Okay. Go to charges and look up the attempted mass murder of a government employee.
Okay.
So within the charge, it has a reference number, like a report number, and then a specific area within that report number that defines the charge in its entirety, right? But when you look at that report, this charge doesn't exist. And I'm now questioning whether or not it's even a legal charge because it doesn't exist within the legislation that aims to define in its entirety, definitively, this charge. Because it should be Article 2, subsection B, and it should be 5, but only 4 exists. And it's not here at all.
I feel like that is definitely oversight. Have we
Um,
checked on the hold on. Let me check on the government website. Like was
okay.
it something that was passed but was never implemented?
My hope is that that's the case because let me see. The only thing I see regarding that charge is administrative burden reduction and mass government casualty events. How was that treated? It was back in May. It's since been closed. Implementation.
Rhodes, do you mind if I finish up this play change real quick
Yeah,
and then give you a call right
absolutely.
back?
Absolutely. You're good.
Okay.
Finds no constitutional issues and entered into law. The Department of Justice will amend the Criminal Code of San Andreas publicly offenses against persons, Article 2, homicide and attempted homicide, Section B, felonies to include the following charge: attempted mass murder of a government employee. Okay, so it actually covers this. It seems like it just wasn't put in the actual piece of legislation. Let's see, 2-1. This report number again. Just don't want to run into legal 24151. So if I go here, 24151, click history, June 1st. Let's go here. There's no 5. Go here. There's no 5. No, I'm not seeing any rollback here. Because, like, it would exist here at some point. In fact, it should exist as of June. Okay, so there's, unless something happened after June with some rollback or loss of data, this should have been implemented June 2nd. And I'm thinking here's my theory. I'm thinking what happened was, so the implementation covers 2 parts. It covers amending the criminal code. So the 24151, this here. Um, amend it to include attempted murder or attempted mass murder of a government employee. And the second portion is we'll amend the penal code of San Andreas offenses against persons to include the following charge. Wait, against persons, and then okay, the first one was for the now I'm confused. Penal, okay, right there. So the first one was to add it to the piece of legislation 24151, and then the second one was to add it to the penal code, specifically the portion under charges here. We are technically in shift 1 for another hour. I don't know. We need to figure out how the fuck it works. Is it just going to be 8 hours after storm for shift 3? Or because if not, when restart happens, it's technically shift 2 for 1 hour. And then at 2 a.m. up until 10 a.m., it's shift 3. Um, let me see. Let's go. At judge. Was added to the penal code slash charges portion of the MDT. However, unless there was a rollback, the MDT at a time doesn't exist within report 24151. Charge itself. Let's see. Passed and implemented. It was added to the penal code slash charges portion of the MDT. Unless there was a rollback in the MDT at any time, it doesn't exist within report. Okay. Unless this is not the actual one under legislation, I doubt. Yeah, it's here. language the implementation of our chat. I know you can't see what I'm doing. I apologize. Okay. Yeah, it's a fairly easy fix. It literally just needs to be put in. I just don't want there to be an issue of like people being charged with this. Because it serves to be like a not a deterrent. That's not the word I'm looking for. It serves to be like a means of capping the consequence for this to something not super egregious when it's a gazillion cops. So I don't want anyone to justify it as like it's not in legislation, therefore it doesn't exist, even though it should be. It was cleared. It went through all the legislation related stuff. I would love a button, even a small button. It should just say 6, 7, 8. Click and you're 10, 6. Click and you're 10, 7. Click and you're 10, 8. There used to be a button. So you have to... Here's what you have to do. Let's say I wanted to change Brittany Angel. Click 10-8, 10-7, 10-6, whatever. But straight up, I'm not kidding. The additional clicks, and I know it sounds stupid, but like, it would be different if clicking this then prompted immediately on that screen. But it going into this menu is like the deterrent for most. This is the last button of the 3 do. Removes them from oh my god. Holy fuck. That is it. Okay. I'm a fucking idiot. Ignore me, chat. You will always see me 10-7 when I'm 10-7. Now, I thought, straight up, I thought this just removed your like unit thing so that you could start one. Like, let me see if I can get you an example. Okay, so D is under Stevie right now, right? Let's say Stevie signs off. D is still going to be listed under Stevie. I was under the assumption that button was to like pretty much yeet the group. Learn something new every day. We got a response from judges, which was, we'll let the mayor know since it came from the mayor's office. Okay. You know what I want to listen to? Song radio. Back to our statement. Oops. uh, hmm. uh, hmm. uh, hmm. uh, hmm. Until um hmm. um let me just verify this plate molding. Make sure we're not dealing with a similar plate. Oh, it's a dirty. Now we throw in a gazillion fucking photos. Chrome. Need something. Polsky Roads. Kukulski's such an interesting last name. um. Hmm. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If she was shot at, this becomes 12, and it's the mass murder charge. Hmm. um. Sorry. Heavy pistol. Revolver. Heavy pistol. These all sequential. Pretty much. Next. Okay, let's throw in photos. Holy fuck, there's so many. All right. Dispatch. Oops. Alpha dispatch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, photo time. Hello.
Hey, Rhodes.
How's it
I
going?
dug through the like government stuff on the website, and I see a lot of changes like attempted murder and stuff like that. But I don't see whether this amendment would be.
So I did find it. I think what happened was there was probably an expectation that the judges were going to uh change actually write it into that report that's referenced. But I don't know if judges, I'm assuming they can, but I think the judges expected the mayor to write it within, and I don't think he did. That is my assumption. I did end up writing it in our channel of communication between everyone, kind of sort of excluding the mayor's office, and someone did respond indicating that they forwarded the message to the mayor.
I
But
did see that.
it's
Yeah.
in the penal code, so it seems as though the DOJ did their portion, but that second portion of implementation was not pushed through, which was the editing of that specific report to include it. Though maybe this sort of highlighted something that might be easily overlooked, or who's like responsible for changing those things, because the mayor may have thought it was the DOJ, and the DOJ may think it's the mayor. So hopefully it gets clarified and doesn't become an issue. I just didn't want this to be a situation where we're charging people with a charge that exists in the MDT but isn't actually legal, you know?
No, that 100% opens up like a lot of litigation.
Yeah, especially with if take a look at the way that legislation is written, it's essentially this is the definitive piece of like legislation 24151 this document provides complete and definitive definition and description of all associated charges. Descriptions within the penal code are be considered simplified for general understanding. For sake of readability, charges with expanded definitions should reference this document in the penal code for ease of use. So it's like, if it's not here and this is definitive, you know, that's a problem. But thankfully, legally, it's passed. It's just not written in there for whatever reason. But should be clarified or fixed soon, is my hope. But I do appreciate the assistance. So how goes everything with the DOJ? How are you liking it?
For the little bit of work I do, it's not bad, but 90% of the time, I feel like I'm kind of sitting on my hands doing nothing.
Is that primarily because of the magistrate position and not having the ability to sort of do things on your own?
I think so. Like, there's plenty of
Yeah.
subpoenas that I see get, like, signed or whatnot, and we get pinged for it.
You can't
And,
do anything?
like, yeah, like, I can look at subpoenas if I get, like, permission, but 9 times out of 10, whenever, like, I or another magistrate ask for permission, it takes, like, 2 or 3 days to even get a response.
A while? Yeah, that's rough. I mean, I understand why the DOJ doesn't want to. This isn't necessarily specific to you. I can just understand their positioning with not wanting someone newer, to fuck something up. You know, like. However, I think there's certain things that can be, or certain concessions that can be made. Like I signed a subpoena for a found book, right? Like, listen, if that gets signed and it's deemed not okay at a later time for whatever reason, like an abandoned book, who's that actually going to affect, you know? So I don't know if the DOJ can outline specific circumstances without oversight, where at the end of the day, like, I don't want to say that the consequence of the decision being wrong isn't severe, but like, listen, in all of our jobs, we make judgment calls, and sometimes they're going to be good, sometimes they're going to be bad. That's kind of just the nature of judgment calls. But at least allow y'all to do stuff, you know? My thought process, at least.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But I mean, there's always room for improvement in literally every aspect of what we do. So it's gonna be interesting. How many magistrates are there?
I think as of right now, I think there's only 4.
4? Okay.
I think 3 of them recently got promoted to full judge.
Ooh, wait, who was that?
Bella Loof, Archibald McRae, and Roman Atlas.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, that's all I have. I will say, I don't know if they'll throw a magistrate on this, but there is likely going to be an interesting case. I don't necessarily want to conflict you though, so I don't even know if I should say it. Fuck. Damn it.
What kind of ballpark is it? Like, what kind of case?
It references the Constitution, for starters, and it boils down to the powers that the mayor has referencing the PD.
Ooh, good luck with that one.
Is that something you'd even be remotely close to being on as a magistrate? Because if so, I'll spill.
If it's dealing with the Constitution, I feel like that would probably be justice.
Justice? Okay, perfect. Turner got removed by the mayor as the chief of police. Yep. I often hear stuff like, well, it states he can appoint, and therefore that means that he can fire. That's not actually true. Additionally, there is a legal aspect that can be pursued if the mayor wants to fire someone. And that's an ACR, an impeachment. which can result in the firing of someone. Therefore, as far as I'm concerned, if he wants someone in that position, he can willingly request that a chief of police demote themselves. They can retire. They can change departments, all leaving a vacancy. But unless there's a vacancy, I don't think he can actually do anything. Not only that,
I do see the black hole that you guys are referencing.
yeah. Here's the reality, and you'll likely have known this firsthand. The PDs are tired of the constantly rotating high command. We just want something consistent so that the expectations don't continuously change, so that we can actually adhere to expectations. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that everything is fine, but like, when you have 90 days, while that may seem like a long time, it's not when you are head honcho of a department. You can try to implement change, but 90 days later, all of that can be for nothing. And it needs to stop happening. And I think we've just sort of accepted mayors having full control over those positions as the norm, and no one has contested it. So I'm doing my best to get Turner to bring this to the courts to determine if it is legal for them to remove those people from that position. And if so, what can they legally do? Can they demote anybody? Can they promote anybody? Because it's previously been worded that they're the boss of the PD, but that truly is not the case. That's the chief of police or the sheriff. They're the ones who are in charge.
How the hell you what?
See,
1 second.
the
Brian.
issue I have with everything is you have the mayor's office, which is supposed to be like
I'm on the
checks and
phone.
balances for PD. But then you also have the marshal's department, which is supposed to be like the checks and balances for like pretty much every other department.
Right. Well, actually, even the PD. They're
like PD, DOJ, DOC, like mayor's office, all of it. But I feel like the marshals have been like kicked so far down that
I have to go. I'll call you back.
Gray vehicle, white, like t-shirt, cornrows.
The way he took off.
This guy's name is
got out and stabbed
him. Got out and stabbed him. Doesn't know what direction. Once again, it's going to be an SUV, white in color. Individual's got a white shirt, cornrows, dark hair.
They were
kind of sounds like he's AI, like he's like Scuff Terminator gone rogue.
390 is going to push west on Joshua. That individual was in a tow truck earlier. We assigned him a tow at the prior OIS.
I did run plates before I went inside. Vehicle comes back to a Wilma branch.
A firm.
236, I'm staying on Low St. F Freeway, see if it comes southbound. I doubt it, but just in case.
Vibes on Mount Han, Marlow.
A firm. I'm still pushing south on Joshua. I 50'd. However, I have not seen that vehicle at all. I'm actually going to cut east towards Harmony.
455 sending north on Sonora, got nothing, and I continue west on Route 68.
I'm going to go ahead and flag the play right now. AMS, you can roll in, blink on.
Is it a gray and color ingot?
He said SUV, and while that's a wagon, I think that might qualify. He said he flagged the plate, though. Or he was about to. Came back to a Wilma something.
Confirm. I looked over Sandy. I didn't see anything unless he's in like the airfield garage. I can't see him there. I'm checking Grapeseed.
This individual was in Grapeseed without being assigned a call prior to, while we were cleaning up the OIS. I don't know if they hang out in Grapeseed. I'll code 6 up there.
Triple digit and code 698. over Sandy and Grapes, you don't see anything. I would assume he would either take off on Joshua West and full center, or maybe go up in Lita or off road. On like the lighthouse area, and then go check Lita.
A firm, 222 code 16 west on Joshua.
The only thing I didn't check in Sandy was the airfield hangar, and in Lita, the only thing I didn't check is any like the garages.
A firm 22 last code. I'll 222 code 6 the hangar, and then I'll go west on Joshua.
When I was bringing Jordan to his vehicle earlier, he also indicated that this person was a hostage at a situation yesterday and ended up stabbing him.
68 to Great Ocean was code 4, I'm sending northbound Great Ocean.
390 is clearing the Grapeseed airfield. It doesn't seem.
Sandy hangar, let's go for.
Doesn't seem that we have EMS available.
What was the name of the suspect again?
Just in time. I believe it's TYME.
Wait a moment, that guy wanted to apply for the BCSO. The heck?
And then he stabbed Bjorn, and now he's a felon.
Oh yeah, I arrested this guy yesterday because he tried to stab Ripley, Ripley.
He also owns a taxi, or rents a taxi cab pretty often. Or at least once.
Southbound Los Angeles Freeway is code 4, nothing coming down here.
I don't see anything in Pluto either. I'm gonna check off road like towards the mountain. There's a chance he's just trying to hide.
Chad, I figured out what it was.
From 222 code 16 west on Calapia.
I figured out why the sequential thing's happening. Let me demonstrate. I'm in first gear. I want to clear my plate. It's tilde key. Except, to change the transmission, I press it once, press it twice, then it goes.
Sending northbound all the way.
So it's a double tap.
The lumberyard and got nothing.
That's causing it.
Yeah, have you checked the lumberyard itself? I can't see if he's like in that like lumberjack area, like the hangar.
I'll go and have a look.
I can literally unbind that. How did I not see that in keybinds? Reset radar. Holy fuck, it's a tiny fucking dot. That's staying. I'm not changing that. Sequential. This is going to be right alt. Because I literally never need this to be pressed, ever, in my whole life. Holy fuck.
Lumberyard seems code 4.
This is gonna sound really stupid, but there's a robbery in Sandy. The safe. Can we just make sure it's not him?
Can do.
Cassidy Trail, code 4.
Hunting Lodge code 4.
I'm not seeing anything.
A quick run through below and got nothing. I'm heading safe down now.
did say flag the plate though, so we might end up seeing it later.
I thought I saw something move up there. Doing that with my mouse is very odd.
Individual at the 24/7 does not match the description. Just to leave. Scenes code 4.
If I was gonna check Foz and Kuro, because remember yesterday when he was applying for the BCSO, he was saying something about being ex-military, so I might be having some kind of a weird moment or something. Might think he's back in the military or some shit.
Equals Wanda Myers, right? They said.
Plate's flagged.
.45's at the Oika.
Or do we have any units down in the city that can respond to both 13 Bravos? Brian was bringing...
Break 1 second. Break 1 second. I think I have them. Westbound Joshua Road.
390 en route.
Oh, people are just down the road.
Vehicle's not flagged, but I thought I remember Brian saying something about a Wilma or something.
Oh, be careful. You have a street race westbound on East Joshua.
Bill 1 Bravos 2.
You guys are going to have like 20 fucking vehicles on the way to you. But...
Okay. This individual he has got Cormos, he's wearing a white vest.
D4576, I can ID him, I remember him yesterday.
He's taking off. He's in a what looks like a local baller vehicle.
From 390 Turf.
Ben, did you say you was en route to this as well?
FM.
You can get up, you can take secondary and tertiary from the roads. Continue westbound Joshua Road, approaching the stamp seat turnoff, not taking it, emergency southbound. We're pushing it southbound Joshua Road towards Harmony and the toll lot. Approaching 68, braking left eastbound 68. How aggressive do you want us to be with this? It matches the description. Vehicle matches, he's got Cormos and a vest.
Is Knight still on frequency?
Night Bravo.
Dang it.
I'll...
2.
Oh, go ahead.
1 with the Bravos.
I'll take over primary here. I'll clear us for PBS. Off-road. 390 secondary, continuing eastbound Route 68, approaching the Sonora Freeway turn off. Still continuing eastbound 68, approaching the Sonora Freeway turn off now. Continuing eastbound, merging, stand by, left northbound Sonora Freeway.
Sir, pull over.
Northbound Sonora Freeway.